Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for joining us. This is Carlos David in the Business Trap. Go ahead, Carlos.
Hey guys, what's going on? Carlos M here, co-founder of Tropical Juice Bar and CEO now. We have Alex on our show, Alexander. Alexander is doing the show a few times and he kind of helps us behind the scenes. And Alex is going through a very, very important moment in his life. And we want him to share his feelings, his thoughts, like the nerve-wracking. Let's have him kind of give us an overview of what's going on and what's he's going through right now.
Yeah, well, thank you for that introduction. And yeah, I do help around with the podcast behind the scenes with guest questions and guest research and also reach out. So I do that. But I'm really excited because I recently took the step to finally join the Juice Bar team.
Let's go.
I've always wanted to learn business, and I never really saw the opportunity outside of college because college, what it does a good job of like shipping you off to like a corporation. You know what I mean? Everybody that I went to school with wanted to do investment banking, or they wanted to do, private equity or something like that. So I thought I also had to go that route because that's what the successful students were doing. But I realized early on, like when I was a financial analyst, that you can analyze the revenue, the expenses of a business, but you don't ever really get to build anything, and you definitely don't ever get to touch it or feel it. It's just like you just report it. And so I realized early on that if the opportunity ever presented itself, or if I ever jumped into it, I wanted to just start a business and learn all those principles of that I learned in finance in school, but actually apply. So that's
Oh,
kind of where I'm at right now, joining the Juice Bar team, and it's super excited.
awesome. So, Alex, give us a background about yourself. Let us know about somebody that doesn't know you. Let us know your college, your schooling, and your work experience.
Yeah, so I went to Clifton High School in New Jersey, and then
Uh,
after that, I thought I was a loser because I went to community college. And looking back now, it's probably the best thing that I could have done because I saved money those first 2 years, and finally I'm out of student loan debt. So anyway, at Passaic County Community, I studied business administration. Went to Rutgers University, and I studied there economics and finance. And then from there, I went on to work for an insurance company. I was a financial analyst there, and then I made my way into the world of being a broker. So matching clients to the proper insurance needs, and so being that person in the middle that can, represent the client in the best way, negotiate on their behalf, and get them the best coverage, essentially. And
how did you fell into that job, into the insurance broker job?
so that's pretty interesting. I was an underwriter before that, and so meaning that I was kind of like analyzing companies' balance sheets and really assessing their health. And because of my job title, uh, my current manager, he reached out to me on LinkedIn of all places, and we sat down for a conversation, and he explained to me what I would be doing, and I thought it was pretty interesting, and so I jumped to join the team. So it was just honestly a LinkedIn message.
Hey
Nice.
Alex,
A message could change your life just like
let,
that.
let me
Yeah,
tell you
it
something.
really can. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Alex. Your background is working against you in this next step of your life. So let me tell you why I feel like that.
Oh
You
yeah.
are an analyst, right? And you are also in insurance. So analysts and insurance people don't like to take risk.
That's 100%
So
true.
this is going against your core, your core experience. And I applaud you for this because this it's not easy to jump and do something else that kind of goes against your little safety bubble. So you know well, Alex, and this just came about, right? Came out natural. Alex has been a friend of ours for a long time, and we kind of just, we like his mindset. We always kind of hang out and stuff. And then one day, I didn't even know that he was looking or willing to try something different. And he's always spoken about how you want to do your own thing, how you want to start your own thing, and nothing formal. And then a couple weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, so this took you only 2 weeks to make this decision. I told you, hey Alex, I'm trying to expand my team. What do you think about joining our team? And Alex was like, I would love that. And that kind of just blew my mind because I never thought to ask you because, again, I know that you're an insurance broker and I figured like you kind of want to play it safe, you know?
Yeah.
This next step that you did and, having the mindset that you have of like that growth mindset is what kind of attracted us to you. And we feel that you're going to be a really, really good in your position with us and your growth journey.
Yeah, and that's a great point that you hit on. I don't know if you guys ever feel this, but when you're too comfortable, doesn't it almost feel scary in a way? It almost feels like you're staying still and the world is moving way past you. And so I
Yeah,
felt like that for the last, honestly, the last 4 years, where on the outside, you would think that I was making progress because every year my salary was increasing. But I honestly felt like I was just staying still and the whole world was moving way past me.
I
And
don't know. I don't know how this feels, but because I've been married for a long time, but this is like being single in your 30s. It's like, okay.
like everybody's moving on, everybody's
Well,
moving on,
Brent,
have kids, everything.
Alex, you were almost singles in your 30s. How did that feel? Does that compare to what Alex just said?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. It's like it does feel kind of weird because you have all your friends getting married, and then they're having kids, and then you're like, oh shoot, I'm like staying behind.
yeah, so I felt exactly like that until, this opportunity was presented to me. And that's when I really thought, wow, I can literally be a part of something that you guys are still creating. You know what I mean? I feel like it's still in the initial phase, and I said I can literally contribute. Even if it's a small contribution, but that I was looking for that, and so it no longer does it feel like I'm just stagnant. You know what I mean? Now it feels like I'm finally moving again. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
let me tell you, let me,
I think it is that as humans, we we have a need to crave challenges. We have a need to crave uncertainty. And Tony Robbins talk about the I think six needs of human needs, and he talks about certainty and uncertainty. We need both of them. Like if you're at a place where you're always certain, like there's nothing new for you to learn, there's nothing new for you to explore, then what happened? Then you get bored and you don't want to be there anymore. So I certainly feel you and I understand what you're talking about.
so Alex, I got a question for you. So this is the business trap, and I just have to ask, what is the trap that you're most scared of falling into right now in this next phase of your career of your journey?
I just had this conversation yesterday, and it's the general fear is like making mistakes and looking dumb. You know what I mean? It could be something very simple that I'm asked to do, and I just probably don't have an idea on how to get it done. Or I think it's the ego. The ego takes a hit, and like you feel dumb, and so that also shrinks you because you don't want to take on challenges. And so I think it's overcoming my own ego and letting myself and preparing myself for those challenges, but not letting it take a hit on my self-esteem and saying, "Oh, you're dumb, you couldn't figure it out." And I think it's that, I think right out of the bat, you want to make progress, you want to just get it all right in the beginning, which I'm kind of like that. But it's getting over that and being a beginner all over again. That's kind of like the biggest hurdle, I think, the biggest fear. Yeah, a
Wow,
trap, the biggest trap. There you go.
that's
At the
wow.
same time, I bet you feel like a thrill, like an excitement,
Oh
like
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Well, what? So tell
because
us what are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about just literally building a team, but being that person that the team could look like. I know I'm not there yet, but when I get there, being a person that people can look up to for leadership. I think turning myself into a leader and building that team and that culture. I think that's what I'm excited about. Because I've studied leadership for a while now, and I can see a great leader and I can see a poor leader too. And I think I can tailor my style to a way where like I can create a culture where we all want to kind of grow together and not something toxic or something like that. So I think I'm excited to really connect with my team, you know, and then build from there.
But what do you think that's going to require of you? Like, what changes do you think you need to make, either physically or mentally?
That's a great question. I think the number one change is or let's just it's maybe not so much of a change, but it's just matching my words with my actions. So I think if I'm leading a team, let's say, they need to see that what I say, I actually do as well. You know, because they say they can't see me. Let's say, what if I say, "Hey, I need you to give great customer service," but I'm giving poor customer service, or something simple like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's authenticity. I think I really need to be mindful and aware of my authenticity, meaning that my words are matching my actions, because people can pick up on that. Would you guys agree?
Yeah. No, I mean, leaders, the only way to lead is leading by example, because you could say something completely differently. This is what I want you guys to do. But if you do this is what the team is going to do.
Wow.
They can what you do, not what you say. So actions always speak louder than words.
Another question, Alex. What are you gonna miss the most? I know, like you're going into this new phase and you're excited, but you also had, been in your previous job for a long time. Tell us, what are you gonna miss the most about making this new step?
This is gonna sound, and it's not because you guys are right in front of me, but I don't think I'll miss much just because and this I learned from Carlos. I was gonna take a new job and I called him and I said, "Hey, is this a good idea?" And he said, "It's only a good idea if you see yourself in there in the long run. Is that your vision of where you see yourself?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Then why are you taking it? You're gonna waste your time." And so I don't think I'll miss, maybe the conversations with the people. I work with really smart people, but I'm also gonna work with really smart people, in my new venture. And I would say it's just kind of like sorry, I'm losing my train of thought.
So,
It's easy to make that decision when you realize that what you're doing doesn't align with your long-term vision. So it's kind of hard to miss something that you don't align with in the long run. Doesn't mean that it's good, doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that it wasn't your path or your vision, So I guess, Carlos, to answer your question, I would probably, just miss some of the conversations that I had.
okay, cool. So maybe the relationship that you have built.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those relationships and,
And they stay. Let me tell you, the good thing about making relationships with people and like just knowing people is that they compound. So they don't go away. Like you can't unmeet somebody. You just got to make sure that you keep in touch and feed those relationships, the ones that are, valuable to you. So don't be afraid of and this goes for some people that, also they really love the way their current job and they want to do something different, but they love the people they work with, and that's the only, like, those relationships are going to be there and they're going to applaud you for having the courage to make the decisions that you make to improve your life.
So I gotta jump in and ask a question. I think Alex
Yeah.
wanted to ask one, but let me just jump in this one for the two of you. Why is it natural to feel fear? Even though I'm excited, it's also like I'm feeling fear. But why is that?
It's in my opinion, is fear of the unknown, and if anybody, I don't care how experienced they are, how how great of a leader they are, if we all feel fear of the unknown, in my opinion, like it's freaking scary, man. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. So, and you're making a decision which impacts your livelihood. So, it's very scary to not know. I'll
I
tell you.
think that let me blow your mind, guys. I think that fear doesn't really exist. I think the only thing that exists is excitement and being excited and being thrilled. But we divided that word into two because then we learn how to visualize not just the positive things that will happen to us, but the negative. And then when we visualize the negative, that's fear. But it comes from the same root of excitement, of anticipation. And because kids don't have fear. What fear does kids have? You know, a kid will stand into a table, you know, 10 feet in the air and try to do something where he might fall. And there's no fear there. So I think that fear is just something that we learn just from society and from just being able to use our mind. But instead of using our mind towards the positive, towards expecting the something good to happen, then we go to expecting something bad to happen. And I think that's where fear comes from, really.
Nice.
I just got the Zoom 10-minute warning. So this
Yes, I have one last question for you, man, and I think this is going to add value to those watching this that are in the same situation that you were, where they're about to make the decision, but they don't know, you know, any type of decision, right? What message? Because you just took a you just made a life-changing decision this week. So, what message do you have for those people that where you are a week ago, right before you made the decision?
Man, so I'm also gonna come with like some unorthodox advice. I would say if you have the chance, turn off your phone, turn off the television, go to some place secluded with just a journal and a notebook, and think about that long-term vision of who you are. And with what you're doing is really gonna get you there. You know, I think we have to be, well, I'll just speak for myself. I started making better decisions with my life as soon as I started getting clearer and clearer of the Alexander that I wanted to be. And so once you listen to that internal voice and you block out that external, it gets easier to make that decision. But when you have your mom here, your dad here, social media here, friends, coworkers, everyone sort of influencing what you should do with your life, it gets very hard. The moment that your internal voice comes up, you kind of swat it away because you haven't known that, you haven't met that person in such a long time. So I would say, in this weird esoteric way, listen to that person again, listen to that inner child, let's say, listen to that person one more time, and what excites them, what's fun, and visualize that if it makes sense. And you'll know if it makes sense because you'll actually feel it in the body. You know what I mean? You will feel that excitement, you know, or emotions pop up. That's what I would say.
Wow, that was amazing, man. Big clap for you.
Yeah, definitely a great advice.
That was deep. That gave me goosebumps.
Well, we want to thank our audience. Thank everybody for listening. This is Carlos D, Carlos M, and Alex in the business trap. We want to encourage you guys to subscribe. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Any comments that you have, we'll be happy to answer and help you out along your journey. Any closing remarks, you guys?
I just gotta say, make it happen. Make it happen. Whatever stage in your life you are, just make it happen. It's not gonna happen on its own.
And I just want to say again, thank you for having me on the show. Usually we have guests, but this time camera was flipped. But thank you for having me on again.
All right, till next time, guys.